Hello and welcome back to Phone a Friend News of the Ambassadors of Gaming. I'm one of your two hosts, Ambassador Chris,
And I'm Ambassador Michael.
and we have news about stuff
That we do
related to game,
as we
from what
do.
I'm told, from what the internet, from what the interwebs tell me,
That's what we do.
basically.
um,
Almost every week, unless there's nothing,
yeah.
or unless there's like one piece of news, which is poopy.
Yeah, if it's not significant, then we don't report on it. But these are good things. Well, not all
Yeah,
good
we're gonna
things.
start. We're gonna start with stuff about Final Fantasy 15. Miko.
Joyous. So, Final Fantasy 15 has leaked. And by that, I mean the release date's been broken by mom and pop shops. So, people are picking up the game early. And due to this, people are, of course, being dicks and leaking spoilers onto the internet.
As most people do that exist on the internet.
Because they're terrible
They
people.
are they're mean and they spoil everything for everyone else.
So, I can't remember if this is the creative director or just director. His last name is Tabata. But he was doing a live stream with IGN and he commented on the leaks and how Square Enix plans to take care of them. And what he said is, I'd like to apologize to people out there that these kind of problems are happening. It's a very sad state of affairs. We are currently looking into whether these kinds of activities, spreading these spoilers across the internet, does legally constitute obstruction of our business or not. And if it is found that it does, then we will take legal measures to stop these being posted and take them down. We apologize for all the problems caused and all this worry and angst being caused, but we have solid steps to address. So, Square Enix is looking into legally what they can do about these and taking them down, which is
Unfortunately, there's not really much they can do.
yeah, and I mean it's freedom of speech, I guess.
It's
Yeah, at
really
least here.
it's really crappy that like the game shops that aren't really game shops or ones that are like privately owned that aren't like a corporation. You'd think like for credibility purposes and to seem legitimate they wouldn't break those release dates, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I got the game right here. You can have it if you want.
no, they just put them up and just start selling them because they don't really care. You know what I mean? Like it's like not a big deal to them. But I don't know if legally they can. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that works with the way business work. You know, if they're like you
Yeah,
can't sell this product until this time, they could just be dicks and be like, well, fuck you. Then we're not selling your product. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I doubt they'd heard all that much from the mom and pop shops.
Yeah, but still,
They still
business is
got
business.
shops like GameStop and Walmart and Target
Yeah, but the people that buy at mom
that,
and pop shops buy there because they don't like Walmart and GameStop. You know what
or
I
they buy it
mean?
there because they're in a community that doesn't have those
That's
places.
true
Because
too.
there are plenty of smaller towns that just don't have big name
That's true.
places to buy games. So mom and pop shops like, yeah, I just finished churning butter in the back. You want Final Fantasy 15?
Fucking, what are we out in
Sorry.
Amish country and they're like,
I don't
hey,
know. I
Melody,
don't
we
know. I
got
don't
some
know.
fucking Final Fantasy 15.
I don't know why I went there with that.
They're also Irish Amish.
Well, yeah, why did you give him an accent?
I don't know.
You're
I
so
went for the
weird.
Irish accent too, which is the weirdest
And
thing
look
for
at the
Amish.
Irish.
I've never met an Irish Amish person.
An Irish Amish. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Um. So next up, just a little tiny tidbit. I don't know how many of you own PSVR, but there is an ability to basically stream. I meant stream, not stream. To stream your games to the VR headset and almost make like a virtual theater
Mhm.
in your headset. So I haven't actually tried that myself, but it sounds really awesome. And before these were even released, I was talking to Mike and go, dude, that'd be really cool if you could do that. So fun.
Can.
Um, right? Well, Microsoft's like, haha, we can do that too, but we don't have a headset. So that's what the Oculus Rift is for. Oculus now supports streaming of Xbox One games to the headset through an app called Virtual Room. It's free on the Xbox Store.
It is, but you can only run it on your PC,
Mm-hmm.
which is I don't know, fucking weird. They
What about
also
us hardcore Mac gamers, Mike?
We just get
I
this.
was,
This is what they do.
but you, we have people listening on SoundCloud. You can't just make a,
What? Yeah, that's
you can't
true.
just
It's a big
he put up
fuck
a middle.
you. Yeah. Um, Interesting story. So you know the new MacBook Pros, how they have the little bar in them?
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started on
Hold on,
the touch
I
bar.
gotta tell you something crazy. So somebody figured out how to get into that software, and then they put the original Doom on it. Why? I don't know. But for the sake of funsies, they did.
Wait,
Like
so you can control the game Doom from the touch bar?
you can play the original game Doom on the touch bar. I don't know fucking why, but you can.
That's like an inch wide screen.
Yeah, I don't know. He just did it for the fun of it, I guess. He was like, I wonder
I
if I
need to
can, and then he did.
I need to look that up.
It's fucking weird. People come
Yeah,
up with some weird shit, but congratulations to that
yeah,
guy.
like that probably isn't even fun. He probably
No,
just
you can't
did
see
it just to
anything
do
on
it. He
it.
probably just did it to do it.
Exactly. He just did it because he's like, I wonder if I can, and then he did. So good job to you, sir. Um. Anyways, I'm gonna move forward. We're gonna talk about
You
GameStop
you
more.
can't hear anything in the background, correct, Michael?
No, no, I can't hear anything.
Okay, good stuff.
Um,
Just wanted to make sure.
we're gonna talk
There's
about
a lot of
GameStop.
yelling in my background.
That's fine.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk
not
about
from people
GameStop.
getting hurt. It's a video.
It's okay.
No one's getting tortured in my home. I promise.
Okay.
That's
Um,
funny.
so recently GameStop did their earnings calls. So
I
you know,
need you to pause.
I did that for
Okay,
my sake.
yeah, we sorry we had to pause. I went into a fit of laughter. Oh my
Jesus.
god. So you were saying about the call?
Yeah, they did an earnings call, so this is where they release all their plans and stuff to
Who
their
did it?
GameStop, and they were doing it to please their shareholders, let them know what they're doing, what's going on, and they released their focus marketing calendar, and it shows what they plan to focus their efforts on in terms of events and IP for Q4 of this year, Q1 next year, Q2, and Q3 or two. It says 2H, so second half, I assume, of
Yeah.
2017. Um,
Yep.
so the first Q4, nothing really interesting. Doctor Strange, Pokemon, all the shit we know about. Q1
Pokemon.
2017, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Mass Effect
Which is people like,
Andromeda.
which has people like, huh?
Yeah, and Mass Effect Andromeda, because if it's going to release in Q1, first of all, we haven't seen gameplay of Mass Effect Andromeda yet. Like, so I don't know if it's fucking coming out like in the next 6 months or not, because they're not releasing the gameplay trailer until like the Game Awards in 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's coming out in Q1, but whatever. So then there's Ghost in the Shell and Injustice 2, which Injustice 2 also doesn't have a fucking release date. They only said they're going to release it in 2017.
I think all we have is a reveal trailer for that, just a teaser
Yeah, we don't have any
for
gameplay.
Injustice.
No, we do. There was some gameplay, but that's because they did a thing at a GameStop Expo or whatever. So
Mm.
yeah, there's a little bit of information out there, but not loads and loads. So all three games that they have on their marketing calendar for Q1 are all games we know not a whole shitload about, or if they're even releasing in Q1. So the only reason this is important is because the Legend of Zelda leak last week. I
Which we
forget.
talked about.
Yeah, I forget her name. But she said that according to her sources, it's not coming out Q1. It's coming out in the
It's going to
fall.
be delayed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
going
going
to
to
be
be
in the
delayed.
fall. But also, GameStop's management suggested that the properties mentioned on the slides pertain to when a product will come out. So maybe GameStop's just behind. You know what I mean? Maybe the publishers haven't gotten to them yet. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
our stuff's not coming out yet. And they're like, well, this is what we have right now. Unless somebody says something to us, this is the plan. So,
I could see that. It makes sense.
don't get your hopes up, but also, like, don't be surprised if they're like, oh, it comes out in March. We'll be like, all right, cool.
The famous phrase, take it with a grain of salt.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's it for that.
So, some Ubisoft news. Little, there's a few things at Ubisoft.
Indeed.
Okay. So Ubisoft basically came forward and they said that moving forward, they will not be charging anything for DLC that is crucial for the gameplay. So I assume that means
Maps.
um, like maps, or in the case like say,
Well, they use Rainbow Six as an example. Like Rainbow Six has a season pass right now with um I think it gives you characters. It doesn't give you maps, but I believe it gives you characters.
okay,
So they release new characters occasionally, and then the season passes for that. But you can still play the game with perfectly fine with all the characters in the game, the multiplayer.
yeah,
So I mean, all you're missing out is on those characters. It doesn't fundamentally change the way you play the game, I guess.
yeah,
But
that's what kind of has me thrown off. Well, what qualifies to them? Well, basically, to continue the quote, um, no longer charge players for DLC that is essential to the core experience of the game. Um, Now, what that means can vary.
yeah, it's up to their discretion what that means. Um, but they said they're looking to support these with free maps and microtransactions. So, because Ubisoft loves microtransactions, man, they're really good at
Oh
making
yeah, they
money off
do.
of them. So,
I
um,
mean, I don't have a problem with them as long as, like I said, as long as it's not a pay to win thing. I can't stand that stuff.
yeah, my problem is
I'm
that it's like it's like the argument about humor. It's like it's either all allowed or it's not. You know what I mean? Like either
Well,
all microtransactions are okay or they're not. And I'm like,
I mean,
because
like
they can.
take emotes in Destiny. You
Yeah.
don't need emotes in Destiny, but if you're willing to pay the 99
Yeah, that's
cents
fine.
to get an emote, that's one thing. But see, you're just breaking your own theory right there. You just said, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
But
it is fine, but that also leads to the spark of lights, which slightly break the game. You know what I mean?
I don't know. They don't. The spark of lights don't break the game. They basically there's. I
They're
mean,
a
I
boost.
understand what they're a boost, but they don't boost you up very high. They get you to level 40 and put you at a mediocre light level. Like you, it
I guess.
basically lets you just join in with your friends, and it's not like,
Well,
I
it
mean,
did. I don't know if it does anymore. What does it put you at now? Does it still
put you at
on?
level 40.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it
So
was
you
still
can basically
25. My
no,
bad.
no, you can join in with your friends and Rise
That's
of Iron. But
yeah,
we're branching off. Um, I guess the big thing for me is what qualifies as essential to the core experience, because you could argue, well, you don't need all the map packs to play the game. Like you
yeah,
don't need all the characters. You know, that's very arguable.
yeah,
So
exactly.
we'll need to see
Well, like Call of Duty
what
figured
they
that
do.
out in a good way. The maps that they release come out in a playlist now, and then they after the next DLC is released, then they
Then they
work the
move them
old
into the
ones
normal
into
playlist.
rotation.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
like
Map
it'll
Pack 1 enters into normal rotation when Map Pack 2 is released.
yeah,
Map Pack 2 gets entered into rotation when Map Pack 3 is released.
and to be fair, by the time Map Pack 1 comes out, most of the people that aren't gonna buy the DLC probably aren't playing anyways, and definitely buy 2 and 3. Like they're just not
Yeah,
playing anymore, so it doesn't matter. You know
it's
what I
all or
mean?
nothing for
Exactly.
people like that.
So
Understandably so. Some people don't believe in DLC.
yeah. Well, like I won't buy season passes anymore. I just refuse to do it. I refuse to buy Battlefront because Battlefront only came with what 8 maps, and the season pass gave it 12 more. Like so, I didn't buy Battlefront even though I wanted to. I didn't buy the season pass. I didn't buy the season pass for Call of Duty. I didn't buy the season pass for Doom. I didn't buy the season pass for Uncharted. I didn't buy any of the season passes for any of the games I bought because I just won't fucking do it. Especially after Arkham Knight, because Arkham Knight's DLC was all cosmetic shit except for like 3
Yeah,
story
Arkham Knight's
DLCs.
DLC was
And
definitely not the bang. Did not have the bang for your buck.
yeah, and it was 50 fucking dollars. So like and they're more expensive now than they've ever been. Granted, it costs more resources than it ever has to make games and to make DLC. So like I get the increase in price, but I also think it's bullshit at the same point. Like if it is worth the money, people will buy it. but I just didn't think it was worth the price looking back. So going forward, I'm not going to make that decision. I will only buy a season pass after I see all of the contents and if I feel it's worth it.
So
So
basically, he'll wait until the last minute,
yeah,
essentially.
I will
All right,
buy it
but
at the end.
we're gonna
Anyways,
usher forward. We also have some more Ubisoft news, Michael.
indeed. Um, so last week, Ubisoft stated that they want to move away from narrative scripts, and what they mean by that is tunneling you. Like when you play Uncharted or you play Doom, and more have games like GTA, Watch Dogs, Destiny, things where you can go off on your own and you don't have to play the mainline story. You know what I mean? You're not funneled into this level, finish the level, you're in the next level. You can just kind of wander around big open spaces and then just do what you want and take off the narrative as you want. And the chief creative officer, I can't say his name because he's probably French or Canadian, uh, said that ideally the worlds in Ubisoft games should be interesting to players, and if they want, even if they just want to inhabit them as tourists. For Watch Dogs 2, that meant a San Francisco packed with activities and interesting people. He also said that the goal is to give players ways to express themselves that will be interesting enough to justify sharing them with friends. So you know what I mean? Like when people play GTA, they go, dude, I gotta show you this clip of this crazy shit that happened while I was playing GTA. I was just driving
Yeah,
around and I got hit
GTA
by
is
a
a
truck.
perfect example.
Yeah. They want those GTA, hey man, look at what happened moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what
People
they're
don't.
going for.
I mean, people play GTA, but the story is only for a small function. Most of the time, they just go online with their friends and just
Yeah,
see
that's
what kind of
true.
havoc they can wreak
Not that
in
they
the
have
city.
GTA Online. Did you see
Yeah.
the comment they made about GTA Online months and months ago?
No.
One of the guys at Rockstar was like, the only way GTA Online is going to die is if we intentionally cut the servers off. Like, it will literally go on forever if we don't turn it off, because people just this massive amount of people just play it, and they just spend massive amounts of money on it. They made more money off of the microtransactions from GTA 5 than they did from GTA 5.
That surprises me.
Yeah, they made a shitload of money. They're still making a
I get.
shitload of money. Well, the last game Rockstar released was GTA 5, and that was what, right before the PS4 and the Xbox One came out. And Red Dead's coming out next year, and that would be the first game they've released. So it's been 4 or 5 years since they released the game.
And they're still just.
And they're still more profitable than most of the other. The only people that beat them out is Activision. Like that's
Oh
pretty
wow.
much it. Like they make stupid amounts of money off of how little they make, and it's because they care about what they make, and they do it in a way that makes sense for customers. Like all of the
Yeah.
DLC for GTA Online was free, but they have the microtransactions for the cash. So
Yeah.
like they did it in a way that makes sense. I still don't like. See, I wish it could be that way, but it can't be because of the way it branches out. Anyways, I'm done. I'm gonna move
Yeah.
on to one last thing. We got some Pokemon Sun and Moon shit. So let me talk about this real
It's fun.
quick. I have heard good things.
Mike hasn't played it.
No, I instead
Mike
opted
wanted to get
for
Dragon Ball
the
instead.
Dragon Ball Fusion game. So people were running into or claiming to run into a glitch where they would save inside of a Pokemon Center and their bottom screen would turn off and their character would phase out and disappear. The only
Would
reason
this lead to a game crash at all, or?
no, it would just corrupt your save.
Okay.
So I'm gonna quote this from Kotaku real quick, just because they said it in a better way than I can. It's not just some random game bug that Game Freak apparently missed. It is a glitch that occurs when people who utilize PKHEX, a popular save editing program used to cheat within the game to get better monsters, which is why the creator of said cheat program is now calling everyone out. And he said, "Funny how people blame the game for a glitch instead of stating that they used an illicit tool. The tool caused the problem." And in it says, saving changes in the latest PKHEX.exe truants player coordinations. The guy explained on Twitter. And basically what that means is that this glitch is a known bug for his program, which at one point messed with player location, and that's why the glitch makes the player disappear. He says that he recently patched this out on the 18th. So
I think it's funny. I just want to go ahead and start. I think it's funny that this dude is calling out the people that use his his program.
yeah, Well, you know
Like
how it is.
he's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's cool you guys use my program, but it's not fair for you to call out Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
we cheat the game. Like when it comes to like hacking like Pokemon, we hack Pokemon because we just to get realistically so. I feel like maybe Pokemon expects you to only use 6 Pokemon throughout your entire Pokemon career because breeding and IV training, EV
Oh yeah,
training,
it's just a
egg
pain in the
moves, like
ass.
it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's really not easy. Um, so and I wish the Pokemon Company would understand the reason we hack this way and go through all these methods because we love their game so much. We just want to have the full access to all the stuff. We're not giving people illegal move sets. We're just making the best move sets we possibly can to put online.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool that this dude was like supporting Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
it's not like
Yeah. Exactly.
it was a bug in my program.
My thing with it is I don't like they did make it easier for you to transfer your IV Pokemon. So whatever. Like they did care enough to go, hey, like look, we know you. It spent hours and hours and hours doing this shit. So here you can transfer all your Pokemon from Fire Red or from the original game all the way through to now.
Yeah, it is
So
possible. If I remember correctly, it's possible to go to move Pokemon forward. You can go as far back as the Game Boy Advance. You can go as far back as
Ruby and Sapphire.
Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Red or Fire Red and Leaf Green. You
Mm-hmm.
can import them to Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Then you could import those ones into Black and White and Black and White 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could use
Trent.
Pokemon Transporter to move them to Pokebank, and then into X and Y, and
Yeah.
then use Pokebank again to move them even more forward
Yeah.
into, well, once Pokebank's updated anyway, to move them into Sun and Moon.
Yeah. So I mean, they
It is
did consider
outrageous.
it enough. At least going forward, they have a plan now. But like, they didn't expect Pokemon to be what it is now. So granted, they couldn't have the foresight to do that. But
Yeah,
also, like the people that do that aren't the casual player. That's like people that learn Mortal Kombat, you know, combos.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
like the hardcore will go for it and they will learn it. And they did reach out with an olive branch to those people. So, but I've also seen people complain and go, like, well, if I don't have the best stats, I don't have the best Pokemon. So what's the point? Why not just get the best Pokemon? And I'm like, look, I understand your point, but you can. I've beat every Pokemon game ever without having perfect IV Pokemon. So
Well, we're not talking about that. I feel like the Pokemon community is way past the story. The story is like an absolute minuscule amount of the Pokemon community. We're talking
oh yeah,
about people that do their online battles. They have a specific ranked battle system where like you go in and you battle people for a higher ranking. And so they use
yeah,
Pokemon with EVs and IVs. Now, if you don't know, EVs are special traits that you can manipulate through leveling up.
yeah,
And they basically you knock out a Machop and you get one attack EV, and every 4 attack EVs you get, it raises you up 1 stat point. So you can manipulate that to a point. So basically, you can, and these points add up. I think you have access to 510 EVs with
oh,
being able to max out a maximum of 252 to an
what?
EV to one particular stat. And that's a lot. Divide 252 by 4, and that's how many stat points you can raise up a Pokemon
Uh,
by, which is
uh,
outrage, which is stupid.
which is close to 50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you, I mean, and then IVs you can't really manipulate, or you can, but it's really hard to. You got to do it through breeding. But
yeah, it's painless.
if you have a Pokemon that's EV trained versus the same Pokemon that's not EV trained, you are most likely going to lose that battle.
Yeah, you're gonna get boned. In the nicest way possible, you're gonna get boned.
So, but hey, I think Sun and Moon is fun.
I've heard good things. I'll get it eventually, but I'm not getting it anytime soon because I got this Dragon Ball game. By the way, it's good. Dragon Ball Fusions, it's good. Problem is, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you're gonna have a bitch of a time finding it. I went to my local GameStop. I picked it up. They were like, "Yo, we only got 2 of these." I'm like, "They only sent you 2?
Two copies.
Two
Two
copies of the fucking
copies.
game? That's it?"
On its release day.
Yeah. To be fair, it's also $30. It's pretty cheap for a DS game. It's not bad. Most come out at 40. Um, I'm not gonna write a review of it because this is like a niche ass game. It's like writing a review for Pokemon Ranger. Only
And
the
also,
hardcore care.
neither of us have capture cards for our 3DSs.
Yeah, exactly.
And what
So
good is a review without gameplay that isn't filmed by holding like you see those 10-year-olds on YouTube who basically hold a shaky camera to their 3DS,
yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
and you like see the ripple lines from the 3D bar in the background. It's awful.
Fun fact: do you know why we don't see that on TVs anymore?
Mm,
It's because they refresh too quickly. The picture refreshes so quickly the camera can't even keep up with the fact that it's refreshing.
mm, makes sense. Well, it doesn't. I mean, I don't know if it makes sense. I can't say that. I'm not smart enough.
Anyways, I think that's it. I think
That
we're
is
good.
it. So go ahead and try and check us out at least once a week. That's how often we try and do this. We usually record on Tuesday and try and put it up by Wednesday. Anything you want to talk to us about, put it in the comments. Check down in the description for our information if you want to support us on Patreon. I'm Ambassador Chris,
And I'm Ambassador Michael.
and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.